Hi everyone, welcome to the second video of this tutorial series on learning Python for the beginners. In the previous video, we had a basic introduction to the important features of Python programming language. We learned about the various tools available for Python and the kind of things that can be done with this powerful language. In today's video, we'll see how Python is installed on a computer and how a new environment is created with the required Python packages. I believe it is better to avoid a long theoretical lecture on these topics. Instead, we will just start with the demonstrations, and as we go, I shall keep explaining what we are doing and why on the fly. So without further ado, let us dive into Python and get our hands dirty. The first thing first, we are going to install Miniconda on our computer, which is the slim and minimal counterpart of Anaconda. I told in the previous video that Conda is a package manager. We can create environments and then install packages under that environment. Anaconda is the gigantic beast which has a large number of packages which you automatically get upon installation. But Miniconda is, as the name suggests, mini. It comes with only Conda and Python. Whatever extra topping you need over it, you can do that customization yourself. So we are now going to download Miniconda. So to do that, we are just looking up Anaconda on Google. The very first link is what we need for the anaconda.com. You click on that, and on the top right corner we have the option of free download. So this is the nice thing about it, that it is literally free. You don't have to pay a penny. So you have to click on that free download link, and if you wish you can register your email ID there, and then you have to click on submit. If you do that, you will find a page like this. So there are two portions here. So the left portion is for installing Anaconda and the right one is for installing Miniconda. So as I told you that we are going to install Miniconda here. So now there are options of installing for Windows, Mac and Linux. So my computer is a Linux machine. It has Ubuntu operating system. So that is why I have to choose Linux here. So I am going with this 64-bit installer. If I click on it, the installer file will get downloaded on location of my choice. So suppose you are using a Windows machine, so you have to click here and you have to download the graphical installer. So once you download the graphical installer, it is I think an exe file. You just have to double click on the exe file and the installer will start. So now it may happen that you can feel stuck at some point of time during the installation. So when in doubt, you can just look it up on the internet. And another choice is just to go to some AI tool like ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini, whatever you like, and you can ask for the step by step installation instructions for Windows or whatever operating system you want. In my case, I want Linux installer, so I am going to download that particular installer file. So I have downloaded it here. So under my home folder, I have this subfolder called codes. So in this codes directory, I have kept this installer file. It is called Miniconda 3 latest Linux x86 64.sh. So this .sh tells me that it is a shell script. So I have to start this shell script. So I will just turn on the terminal first. Actually, it is easier on Windows. You don't have to do all those things. So once the terminal is open, don't bother about the text which is there on the screen. That is because of some packages which I have used in my uh, computer and because of some environment variables that I have set. So don't bother about that. So just see the commands. Now we are about to install Miniconda. So the installer is already there under the codes folder I showed you. So I just have to change my directory to codes. By default, I am already under the home folder. So now I am in codes. I can check the files which are available under that codes folder. So where you are saving the file, that is completely up to your choice. So this mini conda 3 installer file is available here, as you can see. So I will just run that file, but I can only run it if I make it an executable. So I have to change the file permissions first. So I am giving the chmod command. So I am writing chmod plus x for making it executable, followed by the name of the installer file. It is done, and then I just have to start the installer file in this manner. So it is telling me to press enter to continue. I have to press enter. And if you see at the bottom, it is asking whether I accept the license terms or not. I have to write yes here, obviously. And then it is asking me to confirm whether I like the default location for installation, which is a folder called miniconda 3 under my home folder. So I like that location. This is actually the recommended location. So I just have to press enter to confirm. So I am pressing enter. So now it is doing the installation. I don't have to do anything. I just have to wait and watch. Now it is asking me whether I wish to update the shell profile to automatically initialize Conda. I have to write here yes. I could have written no here. And what happens when I write yes here, that we are going to see in very shortly. So I am writing yes, and it is done. There is nothing more to be done here. So now I close this terminal and I restart the terminal. Now once I restart my terminal, here you can see that the base environment is there by default. So this is the name of the environment. Now if you have seen my previous video, so there I told you about the environment. That an environment is a virtual compartment. It is like a room which is insulated from the outside world. You can have multiple such environments. Within an environment, you can add all the Python packages that you need so that you can use it for a particular kind of project. So if you have multiple projects, you can create multiple environments for them. So the advantage of having the environments is that there is no conflict of various versions amongst the Python packages. So when I installed Miniconda here, so by default the base environment was activated and it was created. And since I chose the yes option there, so whenever I am going to turn on the terminal, by default the base environment is going to be activated automatically. So that is why you can see this base is written here. So if I close it and if I now restart the terminal, it will happen again. So you can see that base is written here. Now suppose I don't like it. I don't want the automatic activation of the base environment. In fact, right at this point of time, I can actually check which environments are available. So I have to give the command conda env representing environment. So conda env list. It will produce the list of all the available environments. So right now, as you can see, only the base environment is there. This is not the environment that we explicitly created. It was automatically there when Conda was installed. But I don't want to activate this base environment because right now I am in this base environment. So I don't want to be there every time automatically whenever the terminal is started. So to get rid of it, I can give this command. I can write conda config, then the argument set. Set is for setting a particular option or flag, and that flag is called auto activate base. So as the name of this flag suggests, it decides whether automatic activation of the base environment will happen or not. So if the value of the flag is set to true, that means it will happen. So every time the terminal starts, it will go to the base environment by default. So I don't want that to happen. So I have to change its setting and I have to set it to false and press enter. Now, if I close it and restart the terminal, you can see that base is not written there anymore. So that means I am not there by default. So it does not mean that the base environment is gone. It is still there. So you can just check Conda env list. So you can see that the base environment is still it is still available, but it is not active at this moment. So since Conda has been installed, I can check the version of Conda by this command conda --version. So it will give you which Conda version you have on your computer. Also, I can get a lot of technical information about my Conda installation with this conda info command. So it gives a lot of technical information. We are not going to look into all those right at this point of time. It is not needed for the time being. So that is how we have downloaded Conda, and that is how we have installed Conda. And now we are going to see how to create a new environment using Conda for our own customized purpose. Now we are going to create a new environment for our work. So let us start with this command. So I am writing conda config, then add. So you can see here that 2 dashes you have to provide for this particular argument to the conda command. So conda config add followed by channels, and then you write conda forge. There has to be a dash, conda dash forge. So now let me explain what we are doing here. So there are multiple channels available for Conda. So a channel is basically a repository. It is a bank of packages. So there are multiple such repositories which are available. So there is a default repository with Conda, so which is maintained by Anaconda. But suppose I do not want my default repository, which is maintained by Anaconda. Instead, I want to use some other repository. So those repositories are called channels. So in Conda, I can provide a list of channels from which it can draw the packages whenever I want to install those packages. So here I am actually adding a new channel which is called Conda Forge. That is the name of the channel with this command. So what Conda Forge is doing is that it is similar to the default channel, but here the packages are slightly more updated, and unlike the default channel of Anaconda, so for Conda Forge, it is a community driven channel. So it is maintained by the community, and as I said, it is a little bit more updated as compared to the default one. So I want to add this channel, but then I also want to make sure that every time I install any particular package, it does not install from the default channel, but it always installs from the Conda Forge channel. Whenever that package is available in Conda Forge, it should always take it from here, not from another channel. So after adding this particular channel to the list of accessible channels, I have to give another command. So I am writing here the same thing, conda config. Config represents configuration. Then I have to set, it is called channel priority. And this variable has to be set to strict. That means it will strictly draw the packages from Conda Forge only whenever that package is available. So this is also taken care of. Now we are going to create a new Conda environment. So this is how we are going to do this. So I am writing conda create dash npt. So this dash npt means name of the environment. So what name I should give, that is a personal choice. So in this case, I want to call the environment PT. PT stands for Python tutorial. In my case, that is what I am thinking. So if you want some other name, you can replace PT with some other name that you want. So in my case, I want to call that particular environment PT. So I am creating that one. Also, I want to install Python along with it. So I am also providing the name Python here. So it will not only create the channel, it will also install Python. Then I press enter, and then some stuff will happen on the screen. It may take a little time. It will ask whether I want to proceed. Yes or no. I have to proceed. So I write Y for yes. Press enter, and it is installing the various packages. So now this new environment called PT has been created. I can again check the list of the environments, Conda env list. So if you recall, the base was there by default, which was created when we installed Miniconda. But what is interesting here is that now I have an extra environment which is called PT, that is for Python tutorial. That is the name I chose. If you want, you can create many such environments in this way. But now, which environment is available to me? Well, all the environments are available to me, but none of them are active at this point of time. So suppose I want to go to this PT environment, which I have recently created. So I just have to write Conda activate PT and press enter. So now you can see in the command prompt at the bottom, this PT name appears. So this tells me that now I am under the PT environment which has been created. So whatever I am going to do, or whatever packages I am going to install under PT, so that will remain confined to this PT environment only. No other environment can see that. So this is a kind of insulation that the environment system provides here. So now I have to install all the packages that I want. So suppose I want to install Conda install, that is the command for installation of the package, of the Python package that I want. So it is very simple, Conda followed by the install command, and that will be followed by whatever package you want. So suppose I want the package, NumPy. I told you that NumPy is a particular kind of library which is used for numeric computing. So NumPy, SciPy is also there, which can be handy. It is used for scientific computing. And then Pandas is used for data science applications. In the previous video, we discussed a little about these packages. So suppose I want to install all these three packages. So I just have to provide the names of these three packages. The space should be provided between the names, and then I have to press enter, and it is installing now in the same manner. Again, I have to write Y to proceed. So it is installing the packages. So these three packages have been installed: NumPy, SciPy, Pandas. Now these three packages we installed, but now suppose I want to install another package. So let us install something else. The same command will be used, Conda install, but this time I am going to install matplotlib. So this is the package used for making nice plots or diagrams on Python, using Python. And let us also install, since I am installing matplotlib, I can also install Seaborn. So this is another Python package with which we can create nice looking, very professional looking plots and graphs and data representations. So let us install this too. Remember, whatever we are installing here, they are only getting installed under the PT environment. So if I create another environment, it won't be able to see those packages unless I explicitly install them in another environment. Now I will install something else. I will install Conda, install the same command I have to provide, but now I want to install IPython. IPython is an interactive Python prompt, which is very helpful and it is very handy. So we will come to that later on. So I am installing a package called IPython, and I am also installing Spider. This is very useful. Spider is basically an IDE, the integrated graphics, the integrated development environment, where I have an editor where I can write my program. I can see the objects and variables, and I can also run that program from there. So it is very useful to have a good IDE to create large projects. So Spider is an excellent IDE, specially designed for doing technical or scientific work in Python. So I am installing Spider as well as IPython. Remember, in Spider the spelling contains a Y, not I. So we will keep waiting until this thing is done. Okay, so this is done. So now I want to update the Conda package manager itself. So I have to write Conda update Conda. This is how you update them. So if you want to install something, you write Conda install followed by the name of the package or packages. And if you have to update any package, you can do it in this way. So Conda can update itself. So I am writing Conda update Conda. Oh, sorry. I have to write Conda update in base conf. So this is how we have to update it. I have to proceed by writing Y, and it is done now. Now after updating Conda, I can update all the packages that we have installed so far, NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, all the things that we have installed, we can update them. So I can write here Conda update, then all means all. It will update everything to the latest possible version which is available. And it is done. Now suppose let me just restart the terminal to show it. So now I am opening a new terminal. Remember that by default there is no environment which is activated, so I have to activate the particular environment. So I am writing Conda activate, and after that you have to provide the name of the environment, which is PT, the environment which we created, and under that environment we installed all the packages. Now I have to check whether Python has been installed or not. So to check it, I have to write Python followed by -- version. It is showing me that I have got Python 3.13.5 installed on this system. I can actually type Python to start it, and this is the Python prompt. So this is how you can interact with Python directly. This is the Python interpreter prompt. I can get rid of it by pressing Ctrl D and I am out of it. Similarly, I can check whether IPython is available or not. So I can write IPython and I can press enter. So now the IPython command prompt is there. So we will come to IPython later. So again, I can get rid of IPython by pressing Ctrl D and I have to press Y to exit. It is done. Now I want to check whether the spider ID that I installed, whether that is available or not. So I am checking spider. So now spider is opening. So this is how the spider ID looks like. So some program was already, I was doing something here, so it was already there. You don't have to bother about it. And we will come to the ID, the spider ID later in a different video. So I'm just testing whether those things are available or not. I can close it from here. So now everything is done and everything is installed perfectly. So, but remember that I am still in this PT environment, the Python tutorial environment which I created. So the name of the environment was PT, and on the left hand side at the bottom the PT is written, so that tells me that the environment is still active. So I have to get out of this environment by deactivating it. So to do that, you just have to write Conda deactivate and it is done. So now you can see that PT is no longer written here before the prompt. So that means it is now deactivated. I can again activate if I want it using the Conda activate PT command, as I have done already. So this is how we are able to install the Conda package manager by installing mini Conda, and then we can create the environment, and then we can install various packages under that particular environment. And we have also seen how to activate and deactivate a particular environment in this manner. I hope you had some fun time playing with Conda, environments and packages. If you are running a Windows machine after Conda installation, all the Conda commands will be given through the Anaconda prompt. It will be automatically available in Windows after Conda installation, and it is the easiest way in my opinion, for a beginner at least. You have to search for it in Windows. You can use Conda commands with Windows command prompt or PowerShell as well, but then you need to do something before that. You have to initialize Conda. You can just Google it up, how to do it. That is not very difficult actually. In the next lesson, we will learn about using Python now. We shall use the Python and IPython interpreters and learn some cool stuff about how Python sometimes behaves against our intuition. We have to part our ways till then. Have a nice day.